When it comes to streaming, gaming, esports, and business, one woman stands above the rest. Welcome to Streamer Class, your #1 source for everything streaming. Listen to compelling guest interviews about starting and growing a successful channel and turning your passion for content into a career. Now, here's your host, a two-time partnered Twitch streamer, owner and director of Evasion GG, and overall non-half-asser, Sigma.
Hey guys, Sigma here. Welcome to Streamer Class. This is episode 6. And today we are talking to Jake the Viking. I actually have some numbers here, Jake, that I just want to let everybody that's watching at home know. So as far as your numbers go, this is kind of crazy when I looked it up. So on Twitch, you have almost 84,000 followers. Yes. YouTube, you're sitting at 1.33 million. Instagram, you're over 700,000. And TikTok is at 2.2 million. Holy shit. So your reach is almost 4.5 million. That's blowing my mind, first off. A lot. I think what blows my mind about it, though, is you're just so, like, chill. I don't know what I had in my head of somebody that would have those type of numbers, but you're so chill. So what I'm going to do is shut up and just let you have a chance to introduce yourself to everybody.
Okay, what was hi everyone, I'm Jake, also known as Jake the Viking. Quick backstory, born and raised in North Carolina. I was a football player. Out of high school, went to William & Mary, which is a college in Virginia, Williamsburg, Virginia. Was there for a year and a half when I decided I hated it. Left there, went to a community college, got my, associate's degree? Yeah, associate's degree. And then from there, transferred down to Louisiana State University, where I played football for the Tigers. Was there for 2 years, graduated, tried to go in the NFL, didn't work. Then eventually moved home and fell into the YouTube world.
There we go. That's a good intro. I like it. So I actually met you because you were playing with Batty. I had kind of seen your channel before because I'm known to surf, all through the Tarkov channels. But then I saw you playing with Batty, and you were such a riot. And then we kind of kicked it off and hung out, and we decided, okay, let's duo together. Yeah. And I had no idea, quote unquote, who you were. I just knew you as Jake and that you were hilarious. And I actually said something when I was hanging out with my family. I said, oh, yeah, tonight I'm going to duo with Jake. And my son said something like, oh, Jake the Viking. And I said, yeah, how do you know? And he goes, are you really? He was just kind of kidding. And I was like, yeah. And I kind of got startled. Like, how the hell would you know Jake? And he was like, that's the one that's on the Mr. Beast videos. And I was like, oh, shit. All of a sudden, everything kind of hit me like, that's so cool, because I've watched Mr. Beast videos with the kids a lot, and sure shit, there you are. So it's kind of funny how we ended up meeting, and then I had no idea, and then I did, and guess what? Nothing about you changed. You're still fucking hilarious, and I'm grateful to have you as a friend. Yeah. So
I appreciate that. Got me over here blushing a little bit. I'm hot behind my mic so you can't see it.
Yeah, you're super down to earth, but you have definitely built up a huge following. And one of the things that I try to do here on Streamer Class is kind of get an insight on how the content creators that I bring on here got where they are, and some of the things that they wanted to know before, kind of like letting these people know what you wish you would have known before you got where you are. Probably would have helped quite a bit. I know that I think about that all the time. Like, damn, if I just would have known A, B, and C, this would have been so much better. So you kind of got into, where you're from and whatnot, but let me ask, where does Jake the Viking come from?
Funny, quick story.
Okay.
When I was at LSU, I was a walk-on, and to help have money to spend on the randomness, I got a job working as security at my favorite nightclub. It's a place called City Bar in downtown Baton Rouge. It's super dope. It's 2 stories. The first floor is kind of like a chill bar vibe. Second floor is a nightclub. And I was working there, and I had the hair all the way down, right? So I didn't have the shaved sides or anything. Beard wasn't this long, but I was kind of letting it grow. And I used to talk with the manager / owner, and we'd always talk about TV shows we were watching. Like, at the time, we were really big into Game of Thrones. And then he was like, well, have you ever seen Vikings? I was like, no. He goes, yeah, it's a TV show on History Channel. He's like, it's super dope. I think you would like it. And I was like, all right, well, let me check it out. Why not? Binge watched the first 3 seasons in like a matter of a day.
Love that show. Love it.
Oh God, I fell in love with Ragnar
Yeah.
because his kind of the actor's name's escaping me, but Travis Travis Fimmel, I think, something like that. Yeah, he did such a great job portraying him as like I always called him like a caring asshole.
Yeah.
Like, he cared, but he was also just he was a dick. Can I say that on your thing? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you can say whatever you want.
Okay. But so it's like, he loved you, he like cared for you, he loved you, but then also like you can never predict what he was gonna do, and he would either be like super sarcastic. And I was like, this is one of the coolest characters I've ever seen in a TV show. And so I fell in love with him, binge watched everything, and then I started thinking, I was like, could I pull off his look? Because I was like, the shaved sides, there we go, not saved sides, I don't know. I was like, that looks really cool. And I was like, I'm going to try it. So one day, set up with a hairstylist. We went in and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And shaved it. Had it all gone, had it braided. I did a Jason Momoa style ombre.
Okay.
So it was like natural hair color fade into a blonde. It looked sick. And I was like, you know what? I was like, Jake the Viking has a really cool just vibe to it. Because at first, this is gonna sound terrible. At first, my name was Magic Jake because I was playing off Magic Mike because I thought it was funny. And like, if you look up Magic Jake, it instantly pops up. It was like, cool, this is sick. And so then I changed it to Jake the Viking. I was like, this is so much dope. This is so much better.
Yeah.
And I pulled off the what you would expect of a Viking: tall, big,
Sure.
like just massive, like person. And that's kind of what because I'm 6'5", 280. And a lot of people don't realize that until they meet me. They're like, oh my God, you are tall. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm 6'5". I'm not making that number up like some people who are like, oh yeah, I'm 6'2", and they're actually like 5'9". But
Right.
I'm legit 6'5". On some days it fluctuates between like 6'5" and 6'6", just hitting on like my back. Because a lot of people don't know this. During the day, your back compresses. And you actually get shorter throughout the day.
That's true.
And when you lay down and go to sleep, it spans back out. And it's funny because when I was in high school and I was going to all these different camps, I went to like UNC, ECU, South Carolina, LSU. I was going through all these camps, and everywhere I was a different height because it was a different time of the day, or I was doing something different where my back was either compressed or wasn't. It was hilarious. But yeah, that's where it came from, Jake the Viking, and it stuck. And I started doing like modeling stuff and kept like the super like Viking vibe, and that's what I've been known as ever since. And I was like, it works.
That's super cool. Well, I mean, it does. The second I saw you, I was like, oh yeah, Jake the Viking, that totally fits. So perfect. One of the questions is, we know what you did before content creation, but the big one is, how the hell did you end up becoming a content creator?
Oh God.
Yeah.
I think it started with becoming an LSU football player because I don't know if people watching or listening to this understand the level that SEC football is on. There's plenty of people who have been quoted saying there's only there's two like levels of football, the SEC and the NFL. So if you're a football player in the SEC, so like Alabama, LSU, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, all those places, you're pretty much like a god on campus. Like, it doesn't matter if you play, if you don't play, what position you are. If people know you're on the football team, you're highly respected. And so with that, you want to take advantage of what the kids now call the clout. And so you always want those pictures of you in like your uniform or you during the game. And so I think it started with that, where it was like, we had a guy who ran a page called LSU Edits, and I got close with him to where he would constantly find pictures of me, edit them, and send it to me. And that was my first style of like content creation, was me posting pictures of me in the LSU uniform.
So were you posting them on like Instagram or?
Instagram, yeah. Instagram was the thing. So this is 2013, 2014. Instagram was kind of like the thing. I mean, it still is, but this is like still when it was like growing. Mm-hmm. Wasn't too big on Twitter. Facebook was kind of like me. So it was more Instagram than anything.
Okay. So that was your introduction to content creation.
That was the introduction, because then from there it went to modeling stuff.
So when you got into modeling and content creation, was it even on your radar to make this your full-time career? Was that the original goal?
No.
Or so when did it hit you that you were like, wait a second, I can make this a career?
When I became part of the Beast channel,
okay,
I saw what they were doing and how they were doing it and the numbers they were getting and all that, and started seeing like my personal following grow is when it was like, okay, this is what I could do. Because before then, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in acting, but I didn't. It was hard because I have such a distinct look.
Mm-hmm.
So I have multiple things going for me, but also going against me. I'm 6'5". That's a good thing and bad thing. I'm like 280 pounds. It's a good thing and bad thing. I have a very distinctive look, which is again good thing, bad thing. So it was really hard getting anything in the ad anymore. But that's what I wanted. But at the same time, it's like, well, it's not really going anywhere. So it's like I don't know what I want to do. So I was actually working at Best Buy, and I had a huge passion and love for just electronics. Like I was big in the camera and drone department. That was kind of like my little gig. But at the same time, it's like I don't want to be here. Like this is cool and all, but a 9 to 5, underpaid for the work we're putting in. There's no commission, so it's like there's no like real want to sell anything. And I knew I didn't want to be there when I was inside the top 1% in the entire company for tech support sales. So when you go to Best Buy and you buy a computer, like, hey, do you want 24/7 tech support, Geek Squad? And everybody always says no.
Right.
I was in the top 1% for selling that.
Oh wow.
In the entire company, I didn't get anything for it. There was no bonus. There was nothing, no award, no nothing. Being in the top 1% in the entire company, there's nothing for it. And
It
so
doesn't feel good.
Yeah, I was like, well, this is kind of like, hey, you're top 1%. I'm like, okay, but I don't get anything for it. Like, this is kind of, excuse my language, dog shit. Like, this is trash.
Right.
But then I had a blessing. I actually got fired for, they quote unquote, they labeled it as fraud. But what happened was back in 2016, 17, when Baton Rouge flooded, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Everybody, yeah, so I was down there. That shit was crazy. If you've never been in a flood, it's terrifying because you don't really know what to do. Because the water levels just keep going up. You're just like, I leave, but where do I go?
Right.
Just like everywhere's flooded. So what do you do? And I had a Camaro at the time, so I'm like, I can't really go anywhere. And so after the flood happened, a third-party company who used to be in the higher ups of the Best Buy world, but they retired. So it was a complete third party, not even associated with Best Buy, put out an application where if you had been affected by the flood, you could apply for financial aid. You could apply for financial aid, right?
Okay.
Well, our GM was walking around telling everybody to do it. Everybody do it. And I was like, well, I didn't really have anything happen, so I'm not going to apply for it. Plus, I'm fortunate enough my parents are well off. It's like if anything was damaged, that they just replaced it. You know, I was lucky. And towards like the last week, he was like, did you apply it? And I was like, no. He goes, well, go do it. Just go do it. I was like, okay. So I went and applied, threw it up. I was like, all right, didn't really do anything. Here you go. And then like within like a month, I'm getting like investigated by HR of Best Buy for this application to a third party company. And I'm kind of like, what's going on? And then of course I go into work one day and our assistant manager was like, hey, come see me. I was like, I'm gonna put my stuff down. He goes, no, just come see me now. I was like, okay. Went in there. He goes, I'll talk to you when it's Dover. I was like, okay. Went in there, GM sitting there with a paper that says involuntary, what is it? What do they call it? Termination. Didn't even look at me. Just looked at the paper, read it, and he goes, sign here. Didn't even look up. And I'm like, if this ain't some shady shit.
For doing the application that they told you to do?
They told me to, and I was like, all right, sign it, walked out. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, that was it. But that was a blessing in disguise because then I moved home and I was trying to figure out what to do. And then that's when my brother-in-law became the manager for the Mr. Beast channel, and then brought me on, and that kind of snowballed.
Okay. I was gonna ask you. I don't even know how that came about. I've never asked you about it. So
yeah, my brother-in-law was a sales manager at the Best Buy here. So I was in Baton Rouge at Best Buy. He was the Best Buy here, and he's the reason why I went to Best Buy because he was like, it's cool. He's like, it's something.
Sure.
And through that, this is when the Beast channel started blowing up, and they needed to buy more and more stuff. And they would always go see my brother-in-law because he would help them out. And then eventually they terminated their first manager, and then they asked my brother-in-law if he wanted to be in it. And he said yes. So then he left Best Buy and got on that. And then like a couple months later, I had moved home, and he was like, hey, I can get you in. I was like, all right, cool. So then I joined. I didn't even know, this is the craziest part, I didn't even know who Jimmy was until the day I met him, and I was working for him.
Oh.
I didn't know who he was.
Wow.
It was like, oh, okay, hey. Never watched any of your videos, but hi.
So you just literally like stumbled into it.
Literally, it was a massive stumble.
Wow. Yeah. No, it definitely helped. That definitely helped.
Yeah, it worked out. It was
So
really
you
cool.
got involved. You were there for how long before you were
Years.
like, a few years before you were like, I'm gonna totally pursue this?
Yeah, well, we'll say that's how it went.
Okay. I mean, it is kind of a bumpy road. I know my story of getting into content creation is like odd, and a lot of people's is. So
So it was we got in there for 2 years and it was really cool. I'd always wanted to do like my own thing. That was like always on the back of my head because you don't know how long something like that's gonna go. You don't know what's gonna happen. So like my backup plan was like, all right, let's build my stuff up so I can eventually be my own boss, do my own thing.
Right.
So I was working on all my stuff. It just sucked because it got to the point where we were working so much. I was working 100-hour weeks for Beast, and it was insane. Like Shelby was mad because I was never home. When I was home, I was sleeping because I was tired. Like 2019, put in perspective, 2019, I was streaming and everything, but I wasn't able to do nearly as much. So my self-employment income for the entire year of 2019, and I know this because I'm trying to buy a house, was only $3,000. Whereas my total income for 2019 was a little over 100.
Wow.
Only $3,000 was from what you would consider self-employment, so Twitch and YouTube.
Right.
Like
So
$3,000.
you were kind
Constantly
of faced
working,
with
constantly. And
wow.
Yep. And then thankfully I built everything up because then I got hit with the whole your piece doesn't fit the puzzle, and now I'm on my own. Now here we are.
Wow. I mean, from the outside looking in, I know what the content creation world is. I don't know it, 100%, but I would say you're killing it. You're doing well.
Right. I appreciate the kind words because some days it just feels like I'm going nowhere.
Yeah. It
you brought up my Instagram, and it's funny you say that because at one point I was at 775,000 followers. I'm at 713 now.
Well, it does fluctuate. I think on most
it's because all the people who are following because of the Mr. Beast connection, who are just following because of the Mr. Beast connection, since I'm no longer part of it, they're just like, okay, unfollow. So it's like I'm not really losing anything.
Right, you're keeping the ones that are actually there for you.
When you see that though, it's such a bummer because you remember what you were at, and now you see what you're at, and you're like,
yeah, but where were you at with TikTok before that happened?
Oh, true. TikTok blew up because I called out Jason Momoa. Called him out to an acting contest. Literally, second video on TikTok, called him out, got 5 million views.
Holy crap.
He didn't respond. I've got a total of I think it's 12 to 15 million views calling him out. He hasn't responded.
Wow.
It's fine, dude. Whatever, dude. You're scared. I get it.
Calling him out here, too.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll make sure I put it in the description. Well, let's get into this. What does a day in the life of Jake look like?
Ooh, so depends on the day. A day like today. Well, let's go with yesterday because today's kind of different because we had our thing going on right now. Yesterday, I'm starting a new streaming schedule to kind of see if that'll change. Just to see if it gets anything different out of it. So the goal is stream from 10 to 4, 10 to 5. Okay. Streaming, get off, go work out, because I've been slacking from the gym too much and I want to get back into it because I still want to be a fitness guy. I really enjoy the gym because that's what I did for my whole life until 2015. So it'll be stream from 10 to 5, go work out, and then if there's any videos or anything I need to work on, I do that after a workout. Or if I want to get back on stream, I'll do that. When it comes down to the ghost hunt stuff we do now, it'll either be a day of traveling, or it'll be a day of setting everything up at the hotel, making sure everything's charged. A day of sleeping until 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon so I can stay up all night. Stuff like that.
Okay.
There's a lot going on, but it's when I have that life where it's there's a lot going on, but at the same time, there's not really that much going on. But there is.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
I totally hear you on that one. I feel like I have so much downtime every once in a while that I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
Am I really doing anything? I just like a hamster on a wheel sometimes is what I feel like.
It's because what sucks is being self-employed, and this is for anyone who wants to be self-employed. It's not like a normal job. People are like, oh, you're self-employed, must be so nice. It's well, yes and no, because when you have a normal job, when I was working Best Buy, say I'll work we'll just say 9 to 5 shift. From 9 to 5, I was working. Everything outside of that, I wasn't. Mm-hmm. When you're self-employed, you're in that mindset where there's always something you can be doing.
Everything.
And so
everything.
And so it's something I want to be better at because I tweeted this out saying I want to go on a vacation with Shelby and just not take a phone or something and just reset, because it's after this I'll probably, depending on the time, I'll either go work out or I'll start working on editing a video or I'll start game planning if I'm going to go live again or not. And then it's there's really I don't even you don't even really think about oh, I should go hang out with my spouse, because you're there's something you could be doing, because if you're not working, you're not making money.
Right.
So it's tough. It's not the whole little stroll through the park that so many people think it is. It's like it's tough.
No, no, for sure. And I guess that kind of leads me into the next one is sticking to a schedule important for you. And I feel like as a content creator, you're always trying to figure out what schedule works most.
Yeah.
Or works best for you, excuse me. But we're always kind of like tweaking it and then we find something that works and then something else will come in. But what about you? Because I know like you're pretty religious about the gym in general. Like it's not like you're going to go 5 or 6 weeks without going there like that.
God, no.
You definitely keep that in your schedule. But what about all the other stuff? Is having a schedule for streaming, posting to YouTube, and spending time with Shelby? Like, do you keep those pretty level?
Working on it. It's one of those things where I feel like there's always something we can be better at, but it's like, yeah. I try and have, so my biggest schedule, because I don't have anything like, I'm working on getting an actual like structured schedule. But like right now I know I need to stream every day. That's my thing. I want to stream every day because the day I'm not streaming is the day I'm not creating content. That's the day I'm not getting paid. And so my biggest thing is my biggest thing is stream every day. And I would like to do like a YouTube video once a week. If I can make that happen, I feel like I'm good. You know, because you keep that consistency level. And the biggest thing everyone preaches, even though I haven't seen it paid off yet, still waiting for it to pay off, everybody who told me this, consistency is key.
It is key.
I'm like, waiting for it to happen.
It's true.
That's my biggest thing is like, my schedule is based around being consistent. Like, I mean, like we'll hang out. We're probably going to go to New Bern tomorrow, which is where my parents are. It's about an hour away. It's where we're trying to move to. To do some stuff with the family. We got to go to the Pokemon card shop to pick up some stuff because I'm doing another plug for the charity event this weekend. I'm doing a Pokemon booster box giveaway during the charity event if we hit like a certain amount donated. So I gotta go pick that up so we have it so I can be showing it off on stream. And just to see everybody because I'm big on family. Love my family, super awesome. Love Shelby's family. They're just out in Mississippi, which is just like a 18-hour drive. Oh, we're going there next week, and I'm just like, she goes, "Do you want to fly or drive?" And I was like, "Well, if we can fly." But then I looked at the tickets, and it's like $1,500 just for the two of us to fly down there. And I was like, I guess we're driving. I was like, I'm probably gonna spend $400 in gas compared to $1,500 on plane tickets. I'm good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to just being as consistent as I can when it comes to all uploads. So it's like I kind of like set my schedule the night before. And when I say set my schedule, I kind of just be like, all right, what do I absolutely need to get done tomorrow?
Yeah.
What's on the
list?
list?
Picking out a few things that are like actually important.
And of course, it's like, okay, well, obviously I need to stream. Okay, let's figure out what we want to stream. Also, like, is there a YouTube video I need to work on? Because I have 3 channels. I've got the Jake the Viking Gaming, and then Poke Viking. So it's like, all right, is there one of those? Do I need to do a video on one of those? Do I need to film it or do I need to edit it? Do I need to do both? And then it's also, all right, do I need to post on TikTok? Okay, do I have something filmed or do I need to film it? And it's kind of like game planning all these different things to make sure I'm staying busy. Because if I'm not doing something, I get in my head where I'm like, oh, you're messing up, dude. You're missing out on something. You got to do something. So yeah.
Yeah, that I think beating yourself up about some of these things, because I kind of do the same thing. Like I'll have so many things that I need to do that I'll get overwhelmed and I'll shut down because I'll be like, F it the rest of the day. Like I'm over it. I'm stressed out and I'm probably, behind anyway. And I'll just like call it good. But at the same time, we also need that time, to, like you said, like a little reset of like, just throw your hands in the air and walk away for a minute.
Yep.
Well, that's one thing is that I think a lot of people come into content creation or streaming and they think like, oh, I'm just going to throw on a camera and hang out and play a game. And then why am I not making it? And there's so much behind the scenes that people don't know. And that was one of my questions is the career looks so fun, but it can actually be really stressful. Like, what are you surprised about content creation like that you didn't know before?
It's worse than a normal job. It's like, oh man, it's wild. It's just one of those things where like, to me, I think the crazy thing to me is like you can think for so long you're doing something right, and then after like when I say like for a while, like 3, 4, 5, 6 months later, you found out you were doing it wrong the entire time. You're like, oh my god, why did no one tell me this? I think another big thing is like the amount of information other successful content creators don't want to share, which I've never understood that. I'm like,
I don't either.
The population of the earth is what? I mean, the United States has what, 340 million?
Yeah.
And you're telling me you don't want to share information because you don't want to lose your, we'll just say, million views.
Right. Right.
1 million of 340 million is very less than 1%. So
Yeah.
it's like, and that's one of the biggest things. It's just like, there's so many people who are just like, oh yeah, it's like, man, literally, it's like, so I'll see someone like, you know, they're growing like ridiculously, they're pulling views, and you reach out, be like, yo, how are you doing? He goes, oh man, just hard work, dude. And I'm like,
It's a bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. That's one
yeah.
reason why I created
Anyway,
this, though.
what are you actually doing?
Right, right.
It's
That's
so
one reason. It's because these people need help, and I think we have a lot of gems out there, like great content creators and streamers that
Mhm.
just need some damn advice. And by the time they find me and they say like, "Hey, is it okay if I ask you a question?" I'm like, "Of course." And they're like, "Yeah, I've had a lot of people, decline." And I'm like, just to help you out on just something as simple as like, "Hey, where did your alerts come from?"
Yep.
What? Like, it blows my mind. We're not. If I grow, you grow, and if you grow, I grow. Same thing with evasion. Like, anybody that needs help with tournaments usually reaches out. I'm not going to hold any secrets back. These aren't major secrets. Like, but yeah, it is frustrating. It is frustrating that people do that.
Let's be honest. It's just wild because again, I'm like, why does it matter? What are you doing? It might help me out. Like, I have a completely different audience than you. So it's like, and that's one of the biggest things. It's like, it's shocking the amount of people who are very just like closed off to what they're doing instead of just being like open about it. Because I'm like people ask me. I remember during the big part of the pandemic last year, people were like, "Yo, I'm gonna start streaming." I'm like, "Well, cool. You got nothing else to do. Might as well. If you have any questions, come ask me. Like I don't care." And I mean, it's because like at the same time, I get it. It sucks because now you're losing that viewer. But at the same time, it's like, who cares? Like, you want to do something that you think will make you happy, go for it. I'm not gonna hold you back. And if you have any questions, I'm gonna tell you. Because if you come in here and you ask and I don't tell you, I look like a dick. And I'm like, why would I do that?
Right.
It's like helping people. It's fun. It's fun helping. It's fun
is.
seeing people like blossom into something. Like I get onto my friends like Valeni. He used to like never stream and we'd be playing. And I'm like, Valeni, why aren't you streaming? Like, what do you mean? I'm like, why are you not streaming right now?
Yeah, just stream. Just do it.
Like, my biggest thing was like, why? Like, for anybody who wants to be a content creator and wants to give it a go, think of how often you're playing video games. Think how often you go home after work, you sit down and you play video games for 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Why not get off work, go home, press go live, and then do the same thing for 4 hours?
Right, right. And don't get in your own way. Like, so many people, I see them plan and prepare, and it's always good to be prepared and have your shit together.
Yeah.
But don't get in your own way. Just keep going. You have to do it in order for it to get better.
And that's what I think it's great. Like, so many people, like Shelby falls into it too, where she'll play Genshin Impact for like 8 hours a day, and I'm like, why aren't you streaming? She goes, well, because I was just sitting there playing. I was like, okay. Hit go live and do the same thing. Like, why did you do my makeup? Okay. Hit go live. Don't turn the camera on.
Yeah, you can
there's people. What's crazy is like there's people out there who literally just want to hang out. They want someone to hang out with. Like I don't have that many IRL friends in the area. So streaming is like how I get away from that. Because I have my friends I play with online. I have my friends who show up in chat. So it's like that's how like I get around like hanging out with people. It's like I do it through that. So I'm like, why would you just sit there and play video games by yourself when you can literally hit go live, and even if you have 3 people watching you, you could be hanging out with 3 really cool people that you didn't know.
That's so true. That's how I started. I literally just wanted friends that liked gaming because all I was doing was hanging out with all the PTA moms, and they were a bunch of bitches. And I would come home and I would game constantly. And when I found out about Twitch, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I could have like 5 or 6 people. My goal was to hit 10, but I could have 5 or 6 people like just to bullshit with and game with and have some beers with. Like, it was like the heavens opened. I was so excited. I obviously didn't know it would turn into this. I just wanted some friends. So
you never know what it's going to be until you do it.
Yeah, this is true.
Like, and you were saying, like, is there something you wish you would have known? It's like, well, my biggest thing is, I wish I would have started sooner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I wish I was doing this back in 2013 when I was playing football for LSU, because I could have clickbaited the hell out of that. Oh my god, LSU football player plays COD. LSU football player plays Escape from Tarkov.
That's true.
And everybody else does. They're like, deep water diver reacts to diving stories, and I'm like, I could have done that shit. Damn. This shit blows out and then it blows up, and I'm like, I don't get how it blows up. I'm like, what? But
yeah, it does. Well, this is one question that I ask everybody.
Uh-oh.
How many hours a week do you spend behind the scenes? Because again, this isn't just like a throw on your game and stream
Mhm.
and then walk away if you actually want to make it a career. But how many hours a week behind the scenes do you spend, with your TikTok, your Instagram, your streaming, just getting all this shit set up?
A lot, but not enough. I think that's a good one. Because like, okay, so we use TikTok for instance. I consider even me looking at TikToks, be like people's like, oh, that's not working behind the scenes. Well, yes and no, it's enjoyment, but I'm also like looking for other trends that I could do. And then editing videos. I take my time editing videos, but like there could be times where I take a little bit more time to make them like maybe that much better. When it comes to streaming, I kind of look around to see what other people are doing. Like I'll watch other streams, get ideas, and then I'm also just playing around trying to figure out ways. Like I'm looking for like maybe new emotes or new alerts or stuff like that. So I play around with that. I always play around with the camera because I love the technical stuff. Thankfully, I've had a setup, so we're done with like this kind of like setup thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I spend a lot, but I feel like not enough. I feel like there's because that's also like the I guess like athlete in me like, oh, you can always be getting better.
Imagine
it's
that.
one of those things where I definitely feel like I spend a good amount, but I also feel like I could be doing more.
Yeah.
So.
I think a lot of the guests that I've had on have said sometimes it's like a 2-to-1 ratio. So every hour that you see of them on that day, they could have spent 1 to 2 hours of that doing other things in the content creation world, whether looking through Twitter, like you said, or trying to set up a shot for TikTok or, getting editing done. So what you see on the outside might just be somebody playing a video game and hanging out. And you're like, damn, they're a big streamer. I want to get there. Well, if you're going to spend 4 hours that day playing, then you might be spending up to 8 hours a day editing and getting everything else done
Getting
too.
everything ready. Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
I need to like fix my stream stuff because apparently Streamlabs.
Yep, they're on their way out.
I saw that thread and I was like, oh, it's like this over here. I was like, oh man, because I use Slobs. I'll be really.
Oh shit, you do?
Well, so yeah, we can get into this real quick. Yeah, so I use Slobs because when I started streaming, I think it was like Chris or someone was telling me that's what to use. So I've always been on Slobs. I figured it out because I'll be honest with you, streaming services and all that don't tell you anything. They're just kind of like, here you go, have fun. You're like, but how do I do this? Here you go. It's like, all right. So I figured it all out, and then I saw that the tweet thread, and I was just like, oh man. So it sounds like I'm gonna have to find me a different platform.
Yeah. So
Like,
I mean, OBS is amazing. OBS Studio, that's all I use, and there's actually a lot more options with it, and it's not such a taxing on all your other like your CPU and whatnot.
That's the big thing I was thinking about getting rid of Streamlabs was the amount of like strain it puts on your CPU. Now, granted, I do have a dual PC setup, but at the same time, that doesn't mean I should be having something that drains 80% of my RAM while I'm streaming for 6 hours. So yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, if you ever need help with OBS Studio, for sure.
Yes.
Also, anybody listening, if you need help with OBS, I will actually link some awesome YouTube videos, not my own, but there's some people out there that have gone into depth with it, and they helped me get mine set up by watching their videos. So I will definitely put some references down there for that one. But yeah, and then I'll send them over. And then Stream Elements, like I already use them as my bot for everything anyway. I just was using Streamlabs for my alerts. So I'm actually going to move my alerts over to Stream Elements and kick Streamlabs to the curb.
There you go.
Yeah.
Might be what I have to do.
Well, let's get into something that I actually get asked a lot, and I feel like you're going to have a better insight into it. Is sponsorships. Like people starting out all the time, they're like, okay, I have, maybe 10, 20, 30 subs, and they feel like they're getting the ball rolling, and they're like, how do I get into sponsorships? And one thing that I keep telling them is, please stop with the, we'll call them company A comes in and says, hey, Jake, I'm going to give you 10% of any sales. Just go ahead and make a chatbot that runs every 15 to 20 minutes. Put my logo on your screen. Here's your code. And I need you to talk about this all the time. And people will literally put it in their title. They will tweet about it. To me, it's disgusting because what happens is they don't make, what if they make $30? You literally sold out your entire channel for $30 or $40.
I don't do any
No.
commission style brand deal unless there is a flat rate up front.
Thank you.
So when it comes down to this, my biggest thing is people need to understand their worth and the worth of their platform, regardless of what it is: Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, any of that. Because what's happening is these companies are coming out, and the beautiful thing about social media is it's introducing a new career that's still very young. If you're not in major cities where content creation is a thing like LA, pretty much no one knows about it. You tell somebody that you play video games for a living, they'll be like, "You do what?"
Yeah.
Right? But if you're in LA, everyone, everyone gets it. But if you're outside LA, like even when it comes to like buying a house, like right now we're going through this and telling the lender that, "Oh, we're self-employed. What do you do?" "Oh, I play video games and make YouTube videos." They're like, "No shot you can afford this." It's like, well, I mean, I can because here's my tax return. But anyway, the biggest thing, like, so now you have all these people who are gaining platforms, gaining tractions because there's something about them that the people like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they get 100K followers maybe on Instagram, 150K, 200K, right? And they take the first brand deal they get, and company A will show up and be like, "Hey, we'll give you $500 for a shout out." Is $500 worth a shout out on your page that has 150K with really good impressions on that? Probably not. That's actually a super low ball. So it's like, my biggest thing is like knowing your channel worth. And I know it's hard because especially with it being so young, is like do the research, figure out there's websites out there that are like that'll help you figure out how much a post on your page is worth. Like I found a bot through Google where it was like, "Oh, figure out how much an Instagram post is worth from your channel," and you just literally put your link in and it tells you like your range, right?
Wow.
And,
okay.
Yeah, it's super cool. And another thing to understand too is these companies have massive marketing budgets.
Yeah, they do.
Massive. Like if someone comes to you and they're like, "Hey, we'll send you product for a shout out." Here's where it gets tricky. I say depends on the product. If it's something you really like, you really want, or you'll use the shit out of, go for it. Because it's you. It fits your brand. It fits you as a person. If it's some random freaking company that it might be kind of cool that you might use once, no. Stay away. Because it comes down to free stuff doesn't pay bills.
That's right. It doesn't.
But now, like, huge shout out to, if you don't mind me shouting somebody out, Litter Robot. You ever heard of them?
No, go ahead.
It's a cat litter box that literally every so often it'll spin and basically clean itself.
Okay.
And then you just empty the tray of the cat poop and pee, dump it, and you're good. They shout out to them because they're sending us 2 units, right? Now that's something I'm doing for a free product because that makes my life easier.
Right, and they're not cheap. We have
not cheap.
two of them.
They're like $500 a piece. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's cleaning the cat poop and pee by itself. I don't have to do it anymore.
So it's a good trade for you, honestly.
That's a very good trade. Like I got to do a post for them and everything, but it's like, which I'm like, cool. But like if it's something where it's like a beard product, like no, sorry. Why? I mean, yeah, it fits me, but at the same time, like, how much is your beard product? Like, say you sell it retail $30. Here's how you have to break it down. You ready? This is how you figure it out.
All right.
You look at the product. Like say here, I got my beard oil right here by Beer Struggle, right? Say this is $30, right? For you to buy right now, this is $30. So if I'm presenting it to you and I got this for free, it's $30. Guess how much it cost the company to make this?
Maybe $6, $7.
Maybe $6, $7. So they sending you free product considered you being worth $6 or $7.
Right.
Yeah, think about it that way. Especially with their massive marketing budgets. Like I said, free stuff, I only mess with free things if it's something I genuinely like or want or will use. Like
and it has a big worth.
Yeah, it has to have a worth to me, but also fits me as a person to post. Like somebody hits me up, they're like, "Hey, I want to send you free Pokemon." Oh, yes, please. Hello. Hi. Right? But then also going into the payment, it's like you got to figure out what you're worth and stop accepting every single brand deal that comes at you, because now you're going to you're going to be posting brand deal after brand deal after brand deal, and you're just going to become a running ad.
Right. And I see it all over the streams, and that's what frustrates the heck out of me is they've got, this food company and this PC company, and it's all over their stream. It's their very first panel, and they got this chat bot running, and you're like, Dude, you're making, even if they sold $1,000 worth of product every month, your channel is still worth more than $100. So,
Again, it all comes down to the background. Again, I like my biggest thing I'll say, and people can take this for what they want. I do not accept commission-based deals unless there's a flat fee up front.
yeah,
Meaning, a company pays me $2,000 plus commission,
yeah.
or like
Of
1,500 plus commission, and the commission cannot be less than 15%.
Right. I was gonna say that. Like usually the commissions are never at a 10%. Ever.
When they're like, oh yeah, we'll give you 5%, 10% commission. Okay, no.
No.
Find someone else. And when they say cool, we'll be like, all right, move on to the next one. Because it's crazy. There's always going to be companies like looking for new people, especially as social media grows. So if you say no to one person, it's not going to be the last. There's
No.
going to be someone else.
No, you'll definitely, I know it feels like you may not get a whole bunch of offers coming in, but I promise it totally won't be the last.
Right.
And that's where some of my best deals have come in, of where I've said, no, I'm good, thank you. And then they come back and have a way
We're
better
working
number. I'm
We're
like,
working on
okay.
2 right now that came with ridiculous offers, and I rebutted. Thankfully, I have 2 agents, and both agents are like, they handled it and not me, because I get very like, I'm very proud of where I am. You know what I mean? Like, I worked hard to be here.
You
Like,
should
I know there's
be.
like still like the stumble in part, but it still took work. And so like when someone comes at me with like the most ridiculous lowball offer, I'm glad I have someone else communicate, and it's not me, because oh man,
Yeah, yeah.
Jeremy
My
knew it.
manager, some of the shit that I write back to him, and then he is the perfect filter.
He's like, I'm gonna filter this out, aka we're not gonna use anything you just said.
Right,
except for
right.
the, no, you will not accept this. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep. He speaks Sigma well. It's true.
I would say one of the best deals if you can get is long term. Those are the best. Like my deal that I have with the beer struggle, I love it because it's guaranteed money every month. And I'm like, that's what you want. These one-offs are cool, but you want to do the one-offs and I guess I don't know the correct wording, but it's like in hopes or in promise of future deals. Because one-offs are cool, but like say you get a deal for $1,000
Mm-hmm.
1 month, you're not gonna have that extra grand the next month.
Right, right.
You know, so it's like working for the long term. Like, and it's not that hard. All you have to do, like, I've made like a long term relationships with a bunch of different companies that have reached back out to do more deals, and it's one of the best feelings ever. I tell you.
Well, that's a good lead into this. Is the question is how do you approach a company that you want to work with? Like, let's say that you have products out there that you're like, man, I love these products. I really want to work with this company.
Yeah.
People aren't just going to be flooding into. Let's say we're talking about an average streamer of maybe like 20 to 40 viewers. Okay, you're in that.
So me, hi.
How do you build these relationships? How do you approach companies?
I have the mentality, and this is either good or bad. The worst thing someone can say is no.
True.
So ask. At first maybe ask for, if it's something you really want, someone you really want to work with, that's when you would maybe ask for like, product for posts, whatever. But that's where like you want to like, you got to get that first message out there. If there's a company you really want to work for, send the message.
Okay.
They have a social media manager or social media something that will occasionally check the message. And if they never do, then it wasn't meant to be. Go find someone else. But it's like, I have many messages where I've reached out to companies because I'm like, this is really cool. It fits me. I want to try. Screw it. Let's see if we can make something happen here. And then once you get them to respond, of course, I mean, the whole message, you have to make the message out to where you're not sounding like some conceited little fuck, excuse my language. We're like, hey, I've got X amount of followers. I want your stuff for free. You can't do that because that's gonna get a hard no every time.
Yeah.
You gotta like set it up to where it's like, I'm trying to think like the best word. It's like you want to make the company you're reaching out to understand that you want to do something that's beneficial for both parties. You show that it's beneficial for both parties, your chances of them saying yes go up drastically. And don't just say, hey, my name, like I wouldn't be like, hey, my name's Jake. I have 800K or 900K or whatever. I would love to have your product and do a shout out. You have to go in more in-depth detail. You have to get them to understand the value. You have to get them to see the value in them sending you product and you posting that product.
Yeah, like, and what you're capable to deliver on too.
Yeah. You can say I'm really good at making TikToks. Here's my TikTok page. I average like 200K views of TikTok. I can make a really dope TikTok, blah, blah. So like me, if I was reaching out to a beard oil company, I would be like, look, people know me for my beard. People know me for having the Viking look. You're a Viking based company that does beard oil products. There could be something there. Like, there could be something.
Yeah.
You wait to see what they respond. You maybe come up with an idea, a concept. Like a lot of times I've had to come up with concepts while talking to these brands, but it's like, this is something we could probably do. And that's how I get the ball rolling. Like I literally reach out, like, screw it. If I find a company that I'm scrolling through, I'll send them a DM.
Yeah. And don't make it like your typical, I like that you're thinking outside the box, because I think anybody that's a gamer immediately goes, oh, well, I'm going to go talk to Corsair. I'm going to go talk to Logitech. I'm going to like try to think outside of the box, something that you love and use outside of this little square, because everybody's approaching them. They're not going to care.
You know what? Still waiting to hear back from all of them. Just saying.
Yeah, no, I applied for Corsair.
I shot. I'm just saying, shoot your shot.
Yeah, I did it. I haven't heard back from them, but I didn't, hang my hat on it.
I did not do it.
Right, of course.
Now, and like right now, I'm waiting for them to respond instead of I'm waiting for me to message them.
Yeah, that's just true.
I'd rather be in that mode, but yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, but definitely try to think outside of the box and approach them. That's that whole just don't get in your own way again. Yep. Always be professional. Know exactly what you can and cannot deliver on, and then approach them. I think that's a good idea. Sure. How did your first sponsorship go? Can you remember it? I remember mine. Do you remember what yours was and how you got it?
Oh, I think it was a company called Odin Gear.
Really?
Yeah, it was a clothing company, and it kind of like just fell in my lap where, I think I had seen them post on Instagram. I think this is when I had made that transition into the Viking, and I just reached out. I was like, yo, love your merch. Would love to have do some dope pictures. And the guy was like, yeah, that'd be cool. Let me know your sizes. I'll send you a package out. Let's see if we can make something happen. I was like, all right, cool. And we made some really dope pictures.
That's super cool.
I had a friend who was a photographer who was really good. And we had like a relationship. So relationships are important. I'm gonna talk about that real quick, because if you don't build relationships up, it's very difficult to do anything. I had a relationship with a photographer who was really freaking good, who did not charge me for a single photo shoot because we had a relationship.
That is a damn good relationship to have.
It was, and so we were able to make some really cool pictures, and I still have a lot of them. It was like super dope, and he's doing really well now. He's out in Miami now doing pictures, and I'm like, you're killing it. But that was my first one. It was a company called Odin Gear. It was cool.
That's true.
They made some really cool clothes, but we had kind of fallen out because they sent some more clothes to us, and it was the worst quality. And I tried to tell him that, and he had an attitude about it, and I was like, all right, whatever. If you're not going to listen to me, and I've been with you for a couple of years, and I'm telling you that the quality that we received is trash, and you want to give me the ego trip, I'm good.
Yeah, because you don't put your name on it if you don't believe in it.
Yep. It's like I'm not gonna promote. It was like one of the shirts came, and it was like the super hard like cotton, where it didn't feel that great. It was like stiff, and I was like, I'm not gonna, because I know as soon as I wash this, I can't wear it. And I don't want to wear it.
Yeah.
It looks like it was one of the designs where Lily had been like stamped on, and it was like such a poor stamp that you couldn't really even tell what it was. It was an instant design. And I was trying to tell him, he got a little ego on it, and I was like, all right, well, never did it again.
Yeah, I don't blame you. No, if I don't believe in something, my name is not getting it. Period. Not at all.
And everybody associates you with it.
Right, exactly. And then you have to try to back it up, and I'm not trying to back up a bad quality product.
Yep.
Stuff. Well, you talked about the networking and the relationships, and I have to kind of pause on that one for a second and remind these guys that are like new to streaming or content creation that these relationships are very important. And even if you think somebody, don't ever treat somebody like trash just because they happen to have less followers than you or whatever. You have no idea who's going to blow up or who's going to have a great idea or who can help you out in the future or who you can help out. Keep those relationships stable. I know we have a lot of new streamers coming in that are kind of younger, and I'm not trying to bash on younger people. Lord knows that I was younger once, back in the 1800s, and I know what it's like to kind of be like, I don't know, your ego's there. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
You let your ego kind of get in your way, and that will hinder you. It really will. It might not feel like it is right now, but I promise you, I have been behind the scenes on so many situations where people were considering, this streamer or that streamer for this, and what about this YouTuber? And somebody comes along and says something about their attitude and how they got treated. And it's like, damn, I've seen it smash so many opportunities for people just because of the way that they treated somebody that they thought, oh, they're not a streamer, or oh, they don't do this, or they don't have that many followers. It comes back to bite you in the ass.
It does, and and just so people understand that you're not just saying it to be saying it, both Twisted Tea and HP Omen came back for a second round working with me because of how I presented myself, the hard work I put into it, and the relationship I built with the people who are running it. So we're not just saying, oh, be nice to people. It's like, no, legit, build a relationship. Because I did a Twisted Tea commercial that was nationally aired during the SEC football season. Like a month or two ago, they reached back out wanting to do a second one. Sadly, couldn't do it because of COVID and all that. And then I did a HP Omen, the Omen Challenge, which was a Twitch video game slash what's what I'm looking for, quiz show. Did such a great job with them and gave them treated them right and put in a lot of work that they asked me to come back for a second time. And I'm the first person they've asked to come back.
Hell yeah.
So this stuff and here's the best part. When they ask you to come back, 9 times out of 10 means there's a pay raise.
That's right.
There's a pay raise.
That's true. That's true. I would rather, Evasion, we work with a lot of casters, and I have the opportunity to be able to go and get, I don't know, other casters that have been doing this professionally, but I would rather take the time and the effort on giving somebody a chance that has a great attitude and is part of the community and wants to be here than somebody else. And that's how other people will look at you too when they're hiring you for things.
Bunny killed it last time.
I love Bunny. I love Bunny. Yeah, he's a great dude. I'd rather take a chance on him than start worrying about, and that's what we did. We took a chance on him, and look, it totally worked out.
Yeah.
But other companies are doing the same thing. Like you said, if you're a hard worker, you've got a good attitude, and you're trying to improve, they would rather sink their time and effort and money into you than some stuck-up asshole down the road.
True.
That's funny. Well, okay, so we'll move on to the next one. Let's talk about some of the tools of the trade that you recommend. I know that you do some really sick work on YouTube, especially you're into your drones, and you go out and you do a bunch of filming. I know you edit at home. So let's talk about some of these things and what you found worked really well on Twitch. Just some of these tools that you use all the time that you find yourself like, damn, man, I really love Adobe. I don't know if you use that or not. I don't use it, but
I have a love-hate relationship with Adobe. Oh my
I think we all do. I broke up with them a while ago.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, I use Adobe to edit. Oh man, there's times where I love it, and there's times where I'm like, dude, out of all the money y'all make, and this is what you put out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What are your favorite things to use when you're filming?
Okay, so I love being as cinematic as possible.
Okay.
My biggest goal, and if anybody wants to check them out, because I feel like I've done a good job, is to make my ghost hunt videos better than what you would find on TV, without the production crew, right? So if anybody wants to go watch the videos and give me feedback, that'd be great. So the biggest thing I like doing, I like the creepy shots. I like the aerial shots. So best thing for me is having a really good video camera. And thankfully I was able to get the Sony A7S III, which is one of their most recent cameras. It's strictly meant for, not strictly, but it's meant for video instead of photography. So you have the A7 III, then you A7R4, then the S3. So the R's are meant for photography, the S is more for video. Okay. And I like the production quality to be really high. So we don't film in 4K just because when you're looking at the file size, it's massive. It's stupid. And then you look at people using 8K, it's stupid. Because if you're making a YouTube video, this is the biggest thing. Don't overdo it. Right? So when it comes to videography, don't overdo it. You have to think of this. If you're filming in 4K, you're wasting time because you're going to have to downgrade it to 1080 just to edit it. You might even have to downgrade it further so that it's not laggy while you're editing it. It's gonna take forever to export it, forever to upload it, and then when you do have it upload, 90% of your audience is gonna watch it in what 480.
Right.
What's even the point?
True.
It's like so everybody's watching on their phones. Thankfully, some phones have the ability to do 4K. That depends on if the person watching it has a phone able to do that. It also requires is your internet good or is your data good? Because if you don't have either one of those, you're not watching it in 4K. I stay strictly to 1080. It's a smaller file. It still looks incredible. So I have the camera for that. Drone wise, I have the DJI Mavic 2 Pro, which I want to sell because they just came out with the what was it? Is it the 3 or something like that? It's really nice. It's got like dual cameras on it. It's sick. I want to get that.
Damn.
Yeah, because I do love the aerial shots. I like the overhead looks, the gliding. I think it just adds extra because it just gives you a different perspective of like the building or the house we're about to go in. It gives you just a cooler look, right?
Yeah.
We also use filters though, because one of the worst things to try and edit around is a blown out shot. So if you're outside and it's a beautiful day, it may be beautiful, but when you go to take a picture, your shot's going to be blown out. So we do have what is it? I forgot what they're called. Not UV filters. They're basically like sunglasses. You can adjust the amount of shade or light is going into them, so it makes everything. It's polarizer. There you go. So I have polarizers for the camera and the drone, just to help it out, so I'm not having to play around too much with the settings. That also gives it like a darker, creepier look. When it comes to microphones, we use Rode.
Okay.
Here to Rode mics. We have Rode mics, just because I think they're nice and clean. We keep them. We use shotgun mics because they're easier. If we need to, I've got lapels that we can mic up, but we haven't used that yet. I do use a gimbal. I have a gimbal. Haven't used in a while, but I do have a gimbal for nice, clean shots. Because again, I like to keep it cinematic. So you have the nice, like clean, like glide and all that. So I have that. We have the night vision cameras, obviously, because it's dark.
Right,
so when
right.
you watch my videos and we have a night vision camera, which is that green camera, it is actually pitch black.
Oh
the
my
light
God.
the light you're seeing is an IR light that we cannot see. You might be able to see like the little red dot that's in the light if you're looking at it, but other than that, that's pretty much it.
Ooh.
SD cards, I've got like 256 gigs. Yeah, 256 gig SD cards just because we film a lot, and yeah.
What do you use for your camera, like now, like the camera that you use to stream?
It's the S3.
Okay.
I put it back on. So I have the S3 and I have the A7 III. The A7 III is like my backup camera for like if we're out videoing and we need another camera. We have that because I have. Oh, but another big thing is my lenses. Your money's in your lenses.
Yep.
For people who are on that, so I have. This is the 16 to 35 G Master. Then I have the 24 to 70 G Master. Then I have the 70 to 200 G Master. Then I have a 55 and an 85 Gs. Yeah, that's it. I don't want more. So this thing gets wide. This thing gets wide. It's 16 to 35, so it gets really wide that I can get pretty close. I use this mostly for ghost hunts since we're always close.
Okay.
24 is almost like too tight. So the 24 to 70 I use more for the cinematic outside shots.
Damn. Did you ever think you'd like, hey Jake, if I walked up to you a decade ago and I was like, by the way, you're gonna be doing ghost hunting with some sick ass gear and have a ton of following, right? Like you probably would have been like,
so funny story.
oh my God.
I kind of like spoke this into existence. When I was at William & Mary, I was meeting with my academic advisor. And I remember this to this day. I would love to go like find her again and be like, hey, look what I do now.
Oh.
She probably remembers me. She was like, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. I want to be on like TV. Like I like watching the ghost hunts and all that, like Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters. She kind of looked at me like I was absolutely insane. And now here we are. And I'm like,
Yeah.
ha! You're playing
That's
checkers.
awesome.
I'm playing chess. I would love to see her and be like, hey, look what I do now. It was one of those conversations where for sure she remembers me.
Oh yeah.
That look she gave when I said it, she goes, oh my God, you're that crazy guy. Oh my God, why are you here? Be like, haha, look what I do.
You should. I don't know if you could put it into a TikTok or something, but you should find her. Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
so I've got a lot of gear, if you didn't notice, a lot.
Well, I've heard you talk about it before, so I knew, but I know everybody, at home watching or listening might not know. And tech heads love to hear this stuff, so
I've got 4 cases worth of gear when we go out.
Damn.
3 cases in a bag, I think is what we go with now.
Damn.
I'm trying to get more.
How many people go out with you at one time? Like, just the other day down to
3,
Savannah.
4, 5, 6, 7. however many people I can get to go with me.
Rolling deep.
Yeah, because it's depending on who they are. The more people, the better, because you have more people to interact with and bounce stuff off of. But you also don't want to have too many, because then you have like a lot going on. But yeah, that's one of the hardest parts of my videos is I try to find people to go with me, and it's just like a lot of people are actually scared to do it.
I'm scared to do it. My daughter came in, and because I told her, I was like, Jake said to go with him sometimes. She's like, you should do it. And I was like, I'm scared. And she goes, it's just some electromagnetic field type crap. And I was like, oh, I've never thought of it that way. And she's like, yeah, that's why it doesn't bother me at all. And I was like,
oh,
yeah, no, I'm
more than that.
I'm a little scared, Pumpkin Pie. I'm good.
Our last ghost hunt, we were at the Conjuring house again. We went back. Clear as day on a voice recorder, female voice answered 3 of our questions. It was just me and another guy down in the basement. I asked what color shirt am I wearing? Female voice came through saying black. We asked how old you are. Same female voice came through saying 35. And then we asked, are you young or old? Same female voice came through saying old. Oldest part of the house is 1680, so 35 during the 1700s is old.
Wow.
So we might have been talking to a spirit from the 1700s.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's terrifying. It's not fun.
I don't know why you do
I'm like,
it.
when I play that back and I hear that shit, I'm actually freaking out. But I'm like holding my composure because I'm like, I need to be here for this. This is it. This is content. But I'm also like, I'm terrified.
I don't even like to go to the Halloween haunted houses.
That's different though, because you know there's like
such a
there's like trying to scare you. Whereas like this place, you're like, something gonna happen? Is there something here? Is it haunted? You know, or is it just gonna be a dull night? And like I've had times where it's been a dull night. When we were at Brushy Mountain State, it was dull until about 2 or 3 o'clock, and then finally, it felt like a spirit pretty much tried to attack my Shelby and our friend Trey.
Oh my gosh!
Like ran up on them and then hit something.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in the video.
Okay, I'll have to go watch this.
Pretty
you know, broad daylight.
All the lights on. That's why I started tagging. I was like, make sure you leave your lights on. Some of this shit gets creepy. Some of it's gotten creepy.
I don't even I don't know how you do it, but I know all the people that watch it appreciate it.
Oh, people love it. It's funny though. I get people who are like trying to say it's fake, and I'm like, look here now. I'm a little bit better than that. If I was gonna fake it,
Good question.
we would have someone would die, bodies would get thrown against the walls. There'd be shadow figures everywhere just running around. Right? There'd be jump scares.
It'd be like super like all
A
the
lot
time.
more than just a little knock or a whisper. Right? It'd be a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
A lot of more actually. But yeah.
It is. Well, so let me talk about this because we're talking a lot about YouTube and you also on Twitch and all these other ones. What is your favorite platform? And if you could only use 2 platforms for the rest of your career, what would they be and why?
Favorite platform right now probably be Twitch because I love the live interaction. I'm trying to figure out a way to do live ghost hunts because I'm like that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Just the equipment and everything is just insane. So if there's anybody listening who wants to donate $100,000, I'll give you my PayPal later.
$100,000, I have a gun run backpack and a dream. Like...
If I can only use 2 for the rest of my life, probably would just be Twitch and TikTok.
Twitch and TikTok. Okay.
Because Twitch is fun, the interacting is fun, and TikTok's just easy.
Okay. I make a TikTok and it's like a 20-minute ordeal.
Yeah. Oh, dude, TikToks are so easy. I filmed. Hold on. I'm pulling my TikTok up real quick so I could like I filmed. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, this one of me shooting a 3-3 at the pool has 90,000 views. I mean, that took a matter of however long it took me to pull the trigger. Because I didn't edit it. I have one here at 2 million views of me dancing. That probably took a total 15 minutes for 2 million views. Then I got another one that's 100K views, and that took a whole. I think I filmed it 3 times, so that took maybe 5 minutes. So I'm like, these are super. I pulled up the clip of me getting the headshot during the Twitch Rivals.
Oh yeah.
That's at like 40K views, and that took me just downloading the file.
I remember that so well. That was good.
It was so funny because it's literally you're on the guy. It couldn't have worked out better. You're on the guy,
Right.
I headshot him. It cuts to me just yelling, "Let's fucking go!"
Yep. It was perfect.
Oh man.
Yeah. And by the way, by anybody at home, by him saying you were on the guy means that Twitch Rivals was watching the guy. I was a caster. Was watching the guy that he ended up headshotting. Sounds so weird to just say you were on the guy.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful though.
It was.
Even though it was like a very easy shot, I was so happy because I knew it was gonna happen. I saw him, I was like, yes, click, bang, yes, he's dead. You just told me you're about 2 PMCs. Oh man, it was great.
But that was Jake in a perfect moment though. Like you were super focused, and then the way you reacted, it was totally Jake. It was
high
perfect.
Energy, excitement.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is our last question to wrap this all up.
Oh God.
You get to go back and tell yourself 3 things to focus on to make your content, career grow quicker. What are they?
Oh God. 3 things. This is hard. Hold on.
I know.
3 things to focus on. Like I wish I would have known.
Yeah, like what do you wish you would have known? Well, if somebody was starting out and they were like, listen, I'm going to throw everything I have at this. What should I focus on to save me time, effort, money, grow my channel quicker, get me to where you are a lot quicker?
Which channel? Which platform?
Let's say, Twitch or YouTube, because that's pretty much what I focus on.
Okay. Twitch. I'm gonna do more of don't cares, like don't focus ons, because this is once I found this out, I've just been happier.
Okay.
When it comes to Twitch, don't focus on the viewer count.
Okay.
Don't focus on what games are popular.
Okay.
And just be consistent. And when I say that, I mean like, don't get stuck playing a game you hate, because your mental health is more important than a viewer.
So true.
YouTube, title, thumbnail, and again, don't care about the views. They'll come. They'll eventually come. Stay consistent. Stay with making the best product you can, and eventually everything will come. But again, at the end of the day, don't, like, if you're like, we're talking Twitch, who cares if you have 5 viewers or 100 viewers? Treat everyone the same. Because the best thing I heard was, like, say you're bummed out because you only have 20 viewers. Imagine 20 people in your room standing behind you watching. It's now a completely different scenario. It
is. That's true.
A lot of people standing behind you watching you play a video game.
That's right.
So, and it's like, and another thing, I feel like, appreciate the little things. Like right now, like my last Conjuring video only, and I'll say only because like I'm not happy with it, but I gotta appreciate it. It only has 27,000 views. We have to understand how many people 27,000 is. Like that fills up most college basketball arenas. Like that's a lot of freaking people.
That's true.
And then appreciate it when you do have one pop off. Like my first time at the Conjuring House at 2.7 million views.
Holy
That's
crap.
a lot.
Right.
Like I know everyone's all about 10 mil or bust. It's like, nah, like, I mean, appreciate the little wins, the little victories. They're more important than the bigger ones.
They are.
The bigger ones come every now and then. The little ones can happen literally every day.
That's true, because you just kind of end up getting into a competition with yourself, and you're just gonna get frustrated instead of celebrating what you already accomplished.
Yeah, that's like what is it? There's the Navy SEAL who talks about the first thing you should do when you wake up is make your bed. He's like, because not only is it a simple task, but then you wake up and you've already completed a task.
Yes, we make our bed every day ever since that.
Little victories.
It is good stuff. Well, that's it. We're gonna wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for being here to watch this until the end. Huge thank you to you, Jake, for coming on and hanging out with me.
Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah, it was good. I'm excited. I will make sure to have all of the links that we talked about down below. All of Jake's links. Make sure you go and follow him on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and Twitch, and harass him when he is live, and all that stuff. And we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Streamer Class. Links to everything discussed in today's episode can be found in the description. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. For more information or to connect with Sigma, follow us on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and join our Discord. We'll see you next time.